Hello folks, so as you probably know, I attended the British Motor Show in Farnborough yesterday on the 19th of August 2021. In the morning we had a little press event, and then I just went out into the show and started talking to people, and I'm trying to give you a walk around and a little bit of a feel for the place. Along the way I met some brilliant characters and met some of my car heroes from TV from over the years, who were all actually really incredibly nice people. So please keep watching, please like and please share, and please follow me on social media. Thanks very much guys, enjoy. So I should mention guys, this is a very long video, much longer than my videos normally are. I'd really appreciate it if you try and watch the whole thing, because there's some really interesting stuff in here. Just watch the whole thing, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I've put a ton of effort into this one, so really appreciate it being watched and getting some support from you guys, and hopefully you can like it and share it and everything else. The show opened with a display by the British Army parachute team, which was pretty decent. They came in from about 2,500 feet, so it was a very short jump, but it was cool. I couldn't really see a thing that I was filming during this because of glare on the screen and what have you, and I don't think the footage really benefits from that, so do forgive my camera work here and throughout this video really.
I am representing drifting for Motorsport UK at the British Motor Show today.
Yeah, we've just seen you tearing it up around the track. Are you going to be doing that again later? Or?
I think we're just doing one a day at the moment, unless something changes a bit later.
Okay.
But tomorrow at 10:30 AM, same time.
Fantastic. And where can everyone find you online?
So you can find me on social media, which my name is Tessa Whittock, and it's Tessa_Whittock.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Brilliant, thank you.
Right guys, so here's the Mustang Mach-E, which you've probably seen lots about on the internet already. So just going to have a look in the cockpit here and see what we can find. As you can see, they've gone for the massive slab iPad kind of infotainment system there. Very chunky looking steering wheel. Let's have a look, sit inside. Yeah, this is a very, very nice place to be, and quite refined, as you can tell. Very, very nice quality trim. Quite hard plastics at the top there, but you've got dual phone charging stations there. You've got the gear selector here, which would be very familiar kind of design to sort of Land Rover Jag drivers. But yeah, all in all, very, very nice cabin. And this is massively impressive. And look at this, guys. A rotary dial for the volume rather than a swipey thing. I mean, you can't ask for better than that, can you? Absolutely great. Love this. So just going to have a look at the space in the back of the car, if we can find the door handle, which is that little button there. See plenty of legroom in there, and again, very nice comfy seats. It's really a bit of a step up from a standard Ford in terms of interior build quality. And let's just have a look at the boot space. Again, although you're going to lose a bit of boot because of the batteries and the charging cables, it's still a very, very good sized boot that would suit most families. Okay, so this one's the mild hybrid Ford Puma, which is kind of that mid-size, small SUV crossover kind of thing. This one's a 1 litre EcoBoost with the mild hybrid technology, 155 horsepower and 28 grand. So it's quite a competitive package really. Quite a nice looking car. Very different to the Puma of old, which was that little coupe many years ago, if you remember that. But yeah, nice package. Let's have a look at the interior on this one quickly. And there you go. So again, a really nice quality finished cabin, and those seats. Let's have a, so suit you. And look, it's got proper gear selector. I like that. Let's have a look at the boot in this one. Not a massive boot, but it's decent enough. So yeah, nice car.
So you probably know Jon Bentley from Fifth Gear and the Gadget Show. Just found the guy completely engaging and really interested and supportive of what I'm doing. Just a really, really genuinely nice bloke. I had a coffee with him later on in the press room for probably 15-20 minutes, had a good chat, and we were talking about his time as a producer and director on Top Gear and working in management at the BBC before moving on to some other things. But what a nice guy. Also ran into Fuzz Townsend there, who's a really nice guy from Car SOS. Had a bit of a laugh with him. I was supposed to have an interview booked with him and Tim from Car SOS just after lunchtime, but it got cancelled shortly after it was arranged, actually, because they had to go and present something else on the stage. So that's a real shame, but hopefully I'll get a chance to interview those guys at some point in future.
Just going to go over here first to this awesome display of Ferraris, and as you can see, all the main ones are here. So, wowza. F40, F50, Enzo. Very, very nice indeed. Let's start wandering around and see what we can find. This is a fantastic venue, by the way, guys. Farnborough is a brilliant place for this. So it's literally right on the airfield, and you've got like private jets taking off constantly. There's plenty to keep you interested, and there's tons of space. This is just one hall, and you can see the size of it. And in a bit of a press briefing this morning, they were telling us how they've committed to this as a long-term car show. So this is going to be going on for, certainly the intention is for this to be coming on for a number of years. And it's what we've been sadly lacking since the motor show finished at the NEC, really, back in the day. So really, really looking forward to this and getting a proper look round. Already I've had chats with Mike Brewer, Mrs. Mike Brewer, who was lovely. Vicki Butler-Henderson, Jon Bentley, Tim and Fuzz are presenting the show, and they're on stage at the moment, as you've just seen. And all their merch is here, plenty of it. Fuzz's classic oils, Tim and Fuzz car stickers, Car SOS merch, are plenty. And a little workshop here by the looks of it. See the interior there. I'm not going to open the door because someone else is shooting at the moment, but that is a very, very nice place to be. Here we go. Here it is, the Ioniq 5. I've spoken about this a fair bit on the channel, and here it is in the flesh. So as you can see, it's a lot bigger than people tend to expect, which, although maybe it's not anymore because people keep telling us how it's a much bigger car than people expect. So I guess now people expect it to be a bigger car. Is it open? No, it's not. That's a shame. Right, I'm sure there'll be a Hyundai stand here somewhere and we can go and have a look at one properly and maybe get someone to have a chat with us about it if I use my powers of persuasion for good and not evil. Here's the Skoda Enyaq. Again, everybody knows I'm a big fan of these. I'm hoping that Skoda will let me test drive one before too long, but a press test drive, so hopefully I'll get it for a day or something, or for a bit longer than a normal test drive. I'm hoping to spend a little bit of time with one of those if things go well. So throw a brother a bone, Skoda. Like Skoda are watching this. Costco are here. I went to Costco last night and bought some obscenely large items. Okay, there's so much to see here, guys. I'm just whipping around at the moment and trying to stop and say hello to a few people as I go. But here's the McClaren stand. People like McClarens, don't they? There you go, look, there's an orange one. People come here for the detail, don't they? They really do. That's a fairly imposing rear end there, isn't it? That's a glorious looking car. I think it helps to be up close and personal with something like this to really appreciate the beauty of it. But look how those wheels fill the arches. And yeah, that is a good looking car. The only thing with McLaren I find now is that there are like a million different models that they're putting out, and it makes it very difficult to know what's what, because to the untrained eye, and that's me, guys. It's a McLaren, and I don't know any more detail than that, which is a bit sad, but I guess I'm not their target audience, not being a millionaire. So, but they have got so many cars in the range. 720S is probably the most well-known, I think, but not entirely sure, in all honesty. Okay.
Right, this guy's called Illustrator Maker, and he does amazing like digital car illustrations, and he will do like one-off commissions and stuff. Had a good chat with him. He's such a nice guy, and he's just started out, and I recorded a little interview with him, or thought I had. It looks like I'd recorded the preamble and the after, but not the actual thing itself, like an absolute bellend. So please go and check him out on socials. Really nice guy, and the artwork he produced was just stunning. So I'm showing a bit of like the footage here from that shouldn't have been recorded, and of course I didn't manage to capture the bit that should have been recorded.
Right, here's my car that I've loaned to the show for the day. It's the Lamborghini Aventador 2016. This one, 6.5 V12, and it's the the LP 750. Oh, what do we have here, folks? Aston Martin Vanquish Zagato 6-litre V12, 2017 model. It's a cinch at 429 grand, that one. So I'll be making an offer before we leave for sure. Right, it's that new Rolls SUV over here. I'm just not sure about this kind of thing. I completely appreciate the engineering and the coachworks and the skill that goes into producing one and the quality of everything, but I don't know, to me I just find them a bit naff. I wouldn't mind an old one, like a really old one, so I think they've just got a bit more character and a little bit less look at me. But now there's a look at me car I could live with. Oh good lord. Oh, in the words of Jeremy Clarkson, I think I've just had a crisis. Wow, look at that. Here's the Lamborghini Urus, which I'm not a fan of. Lamborghini won't be gutted about that because, again, I'm not really their target market.
I love cars myself.
Tell us what you do.
Okay, so this is LA Carbon Fibre. Carbon Fibre accessories. Starts with phone cases, moves on to card holders, earpod cases. I shall actually give you, is this the mic, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go with the mic. I'll show you a little bit more. So, as you can see here, it starts with a normal carbon fibre weaved case over there. You've got a different version which is forged carbon fibre. Then down here you've got a style that we call Phantom Series, which is full exposed carbon fibre, dry carbon fibre. You can then go into the world of customization. So you can have different colours if you like different colours. You can have it custom, so anything that means something to you. If it's a car, as you can see on the photos, you can see that it's quite easy to see from the photos. You can have it customized. Then you can move on to having a normal earpod case to then having it customized to the color to match your color scheme. So you can have accessories for every aspect. So then it's basically just for accessories for lifestyle. So if you like carbon fiber, want it to be customized, then this would be the avenue for you. But there's also an option for you to just have a normal carbon fiber phone case also.
And where can we find you online?
Online, we are at LA Carbon Fibre online also. So this is a Joker case that was hand painted.
Wow.
Custom hand painted. And I also want to show you something really, really unique. A McLaren. Now this is hand painted.
Wow.
So as you can see, it's really impressive. I wouldn't even take it out today because I don't want to get my fingerprints on it. My own YouTube, I've got my own YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, what's that?
It's called Jammy Go Lucky.
Yeah.
Happy Go Lucky.
And what do you do on
Jammy
there?
Go Lucky cars.
Yeah.
I've got a Mach 1 TT project that I'm building at the moment, big turbo project.
Nice.
I'm actually starting to review a lot of other cars as well. So yeah, check me out.
How many subs?
5,000.
I hate you.
Right?
I've only got, I'm at 900 something.
900?
Yeah.
Oh bless. I
Mate,
think
you
to
got to give me a
myself,
shout out.
5,000, I'm not really like anywhere else, you know.
No.
I don't even, I'm on my route to 10,000. That's really what I want to try and get to. Got 5,000 at the moment. Come on guys, don't think it's back.
So guys, this is a carbon fibre keyring that Jammy's given me here, and I'm going to give it away as part of my giveaway prize package. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, that's going to go to a random person that subscribes and or follows on social media. So don't delay, subscribe and follow.
He actually made this specifically for his car.
Nice. I've partnered up with Readly to give you access to over 5,000 worldwide newspapers and magazines every month for just $7.99. The best thing is there's a free trial for my viewers. Just follow the link in the description. You can cancel at any time and there's no obligation to continue and no contract to tie you in. Readly's fantastic for car magazines like What Car, Auto Express, Top Gear, and don't forget you can share these with your family on up to 5 devices in your household. Please do the free trial and help support the channel. Thanks. Hold out your hand, fella. So this is Mike Brewer, obviously, from Wheeler Dealers fame. I only had a quick chat with Mike. I had a very, very long chat with his wife who was running the Wheeler Dealers store there. It's very much cottage industry. It was him and his wife at Transit and they came and did the whole thing. Mike was presenting most of the outside content and he did a brilliant job at that, to be fair. But they're just such incredibly normal people considering like the success, and they've obviously earned well from it over the years. And they're just as normal as anything. His wife is lovely. Like I had such a good chat with her. She was saying it's funny how so many people go to the store and they don't know she's his wife and they're slagging him off and everything. She also said about how much hate he gets from people online and really nasty messages sent to him and stuff, and just doesn't know why. Loads of stuff about Ed China, and she said like there's no falling out. Ed wanted to do something else. A few more sort of behind the scenes details and things, but it was really interesting to chat with her and just really nice person. I also got a mug from her, so that was nice.
Wow, ain't she pretty? That's very nice, isn't it? Very, very nice indeed. Alright, so we're just coming up to Volvo here. This is what I currently drive, although it won't be from next week, although it's the electric version. So it's the XC40, and this one's the Recharge, which is the new EV version of the XC40. Looks great in that grey. Looks really nice in the grey. Let's have a look at the interior and see if it's massively different to mine. Not really, not especially. It's charging at the moment, so you've got the charging status on the display there, but it's very, very similar to mine. Let's just go around and have a quick look at the boot space. I don't know how impacted it is by the batteries. In fairness, I think it's pretty much the same as my diesel car, so it doesn't look like they've taken a great deal out of it. You haven't lost too much for the fact that it's got batteries there. So this is the Shell home charger here, look, the new Motion. That's what it looks like with the charger in. Fascinating, eh? So I really, really like that grey paint. It's sort of satin finish. It's not matte, but it's not, you know, super, super shiny. It's very, very nice. Loads of classic cars here as well, guys. It's a little classic car section here, complete with aging gent on picnic furniture, which is the way it should be. Nice Lotus Cortina there. Let's have a look at that. That's a very, very nice example. I guess it would have to be a very nice example to make it into the main hall here, wouldn't it? 1.6, 109 horsepower, 8.6 seconds, which by today's standards is not rapid, is it? But obviously at the time, when was that? I think they were like early 60s to about 1970. And that was a very, very quick car back in the day and much sought after. And a nice example like that today it's worth a good few quid. So Cinch are the main sponsors of the motor show this year, and they're doing a winner car competition, and this would be the one I would like for sure. That's a full-on Mustang, not the Mustang Mach E, but the Mustang. And if you've never been in a Mustang before, I don't know if this will properly come across on camera, but you have to understand just how naff the visibility is in one. So that's the rake of the windscreen. It doesn't come across at all on the camera, unfortunately, but you can see the rake of the windscreen. It means that it's like looking through a letterbox really when you're in there, but they're very, very nice cars. I've had one of those as a hire car in the US of A, and I almost cried when I had to take it back, and it was only the most basic, boring version that I had, but there we go. Right, here's the Polestar 2. Right, so this is the Volvo EV, and really, well, Polestar's a new brand, isn't it? But we all know it's Volvo, and shares most of its parts from the Volvo parts bin, and it's really their attempt to offer something to rival the Tesla Model 3. So they've come out with really good range numbers and a more sort of refined exec motor, and perhaps with a bit of build quality where, you know, Tesla are often accused of lacking that build quality, aren't they? So this is Polestar Volvo's attempt to, you know, take things up a notch and offer something a bit better, a bit nicer. Plenty of legroom in there, and let's have a look at the interior. So it will be very familiar to Volvo drivers, but that central infotainment is definitely a step up from the current Volvo range, including my XC40. It's much nicer. So, and you see there's the same steering wheel that is in most of the Volvo range at the moment. Central display's nice, but check that out, that's really nice. And look at that, ladies and gents, a volume knob. How much do we love and miss volume knobs? Maybe it's just me. Right folks, so this is the Supercar Paddock, which unsurprisingly is filled with supercars. What do we think about that? Surprise of the day or what? And as you know, I don't do a lot of supercar type content, and I do love the ordinary when it comes to cars, but you cannot help but be fairly impressed by some of the machinery we've got on show here. To be fair, I'm probably lacking a lot of the detail myself on some of them. Certainly the McLarens, I don't know a great deal about. I just feel like McLarens all merge into one. There are hundreds of them, and they're just all given a number, and it's difficult to differentiate one McLaren from another. Ferrari 488, that's a very nice car, isn't it? Wow. Look at those wheels. Matte gold. Bling bling. Sorry about my camera work, by the way. I can't really see the screen because the sun's out. And inside it was a case of the lights glaring on the screen, so throughout this my camera work's probably absolutely awful. But, you know, I'm not a cameraman. I'm not a guru. Now this is obviously an absolutely glorious looking Lambo, and it's been ruined by a 3D number plate which looks absolutely toilet. It just goes to prove that even the most luxurious, fabulous looking cars can be made to look tacky by one of those crappy number plates. Sorry folks, but that's the truth. And as we know, I like to speak the truth. That's the McClaren Senna there, which is special, isn't it?
Hey, don't take that as desk coats.
You don't know.
Well, you could do, I suppose, if you wanted to.
That would be all right in the back of a trolley, actually. Help you push it along. So yeah, very, very, very nice car that. Check out the exhaust, the detail in there. Only 2 million. Here we go, yours for 2 million quid. It looks great with the black and purple, doesn't it? Absolutely great with the black and purple. You have to say that is a piece of design, an absolute piece of design. So that guy was saying there that someone's just sourced one of those for a customer and jogged it on for £2 million. So if you want one of those, just a couple of £1 million. Now, this is one of my favourite ever pieces of car design, is that gear gate in a Ferrari. I know they're not particularly famed for their interiors, Ferrari, but that gear gate is a thing of beauty. The numbers are sort of thinning out in the main hall here a little bit now, so it's a bit easier to get around, which is nice. One thing I will say about this show, it's a real family show, and I think a lot of these events normally can be very much aimed at the press and media, and this is not. Seems to be much more about the families and the experience kind of thing. There are certainly a lot of exhibitors that are not here that you would probably expect to, and I guess COVID's largely to blame for that. It's quite a feat to put on an event like this, albeit hopefully the tail end of a pandemic, but a lot of the big brands are sort of notable by their absence, I would say. But they've done a great job here generally, and it is a nice day out if you've got, you know, there's a young lad and his dad here. You know, it's a nice day out to come and bring your kids, and it's not so mega exclusive with lots of roped off areas and things that you're probably more familiar with if you've been to the NEC show back in the day. Okay, so here we go. These are the UK Car of the Year Award cars, as declared by the British Motor Show, I guess. Got the new S-Class here, which, as you can see, it's got the rising star coming out the bottom, out of the bonnet, and ooh, we've got terrible reflection there, and I guess it's locked. So, yeah, but without doubt the best interior in a car at the moment, in my personal opinion. Puma ST line. It's a little Honda-y. I love these things. I think they're cool, but I just think they would look better with proper wing mirrors instead of those funny little ears. But the glare is just terrible for these interior shots, and they're not open, unfortunately, these ones. But yeah, I mean, that's a great looking car. I think it's such a brilliant bit of design. Honda have always been a bit of a safe brand, apart from, you know, I know they've done like their share of sporty cars over the years, but it's been a very safe and maybe slightly dull brand, dare I say, in recent times. And that car just really hits the mark, doesn't it? It's very modern looking, but also extremely retro looking, which is fantastic. Just whipping through here. Oh, a Yaris. It's a GR Yaris. There we go. That's the car everybody's getting super excited about this year, isn't it? This is the one that everybody wants, and I hope a lot of them are driven. I've got a feeling a lot of these cars are going to be put into storage somewhere, like in a vacuum packed and put into storage, because they're going to go up and up in value. And yeah, that's going to be the future classic right there. So I do hope enough of them get used. It's a shame to have a real driver's car like that doesn't get driven. There's the ID4. There you go. I'm not massively excited by the design of these. I know a lot of people are, but I just think it looks too... They've tried to make it look too futuristic. I don't know, a bit forced for me. That's very tasty, isn't it? Wow. Look at the back end on this. It's got a real Kim Kardashian rear end, doesn't it? If you know what I'm saying, folks. Lexus LC 500s. Very nice. i3, these are... People forget how long the i3's been around on the block now, but the i3's been around for a long, long time. And fantastic design, brilliant interiors in them. Totally mad. I mean, it's like something from IKEA, but they still make tons of sense, and fantastic little cars, really.
And I know it's a bold design and maybe a bit Marmite, but hats off, at least they didn't do something boring with it. That's the Octavia VRS. Nice. What have we got over here? It's got RS Turbo by any chance? It is. Very nice. What have we got over here? Nissan 370Z. 1962 Jaguar Lindenhofer. Okay. 370Z. Rose Black. 3.7 V6. That's had a lot of work done to it, as you can see. Look at that carbon fibre work. Oh my God. That is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. That's a fantastic wrap that's been done on that. Brilliant quality wrap. Very cool little Mini here. Little Mini, they're all little, aren't they? Look at that bad boy, wow. Once again, it didn't come out of the factory quite like that, didn't it? Nice. I'll tell you what, as a Mini Cooper goes, that's a very, very nice example, isn't it? Very nice example. Let's have a look at it. Oh. Suit you, sir. 1989 Mini, that. It's had a ton of work done to it. Very nice indeed. So what have we got here? Mondeo ST220, I guess. ST200, my mistake. Plenty of work been done on this one. That is a thing of beauty, isn't it? 2001. That's so custom, it's unbelievable, that one. There we go, there's all the funky modified stuff. I wish the lens on this camera was a bit wider. It's very hard to get the whole car in, whilst being close enough to ensure you don't get other humans in the way. So, there we go. Such is life. First world problems, eh? Here's the Say It stand. And they brought a few cars along, nothing massively exciting, if I'm perfectly honest. Dacia here. It's the Sandero Stepway. It's the car you've all been waiting for, isn't it? It's the new Defender, right. Here it is, the new Defender. Obviously it's controversial because they've come out with a new Defender and half the world wishes that we didn't progress with things like this, but you can't say that this is not a good design. It's an absolutely fantastic piece of design. They've managed to make it, the interior, super robust, but very stylish at the same time, and that's not really an easy thing to do, and not something probably typical of a Defender, is it? Which again is probably why people are upset, because they've done something atypical with a Defender. Oh right, here we go with the Lumas. So, modified Land Rover stuff here. At a price, obviously. Unreal. I hate to think what the lease would be on one of these, but I can say it will definitely be more than the Dacia Sandero stepway. But fantastic styling package on this. Great car. Very nice indeed. Okay, so here's Vicki Butler-Henderson with Fuzz and Tim from Car SOS.
The way that you sit behind the wheel. I don't want anything relaxed, I don't want any elbows up, I just want full concentration and a reasonable, gap between you. Actually, when you go into a car, you should be able to rest your wrist on top of the steering wheel without leaning forward.
So shoulders back.
So it's just a normal position. Can I put my wrist on the steering wheel? If you try it all when you get home, you'll have the best.
Look at him, look at him, he's taking it every single one. This has become an actual lesson for Tim Shaw.
But it's interesting taking it from a pro. You're pretending you're not, but I can guarantee you next time we're on the track, you'll have a tape of that
I just realised that I was doing it just before you.
Right, so here we are at the Ssangyong stand, and I've been fairly critical of their styling with a lot of their cars and just of them in general, but this one I really like. It's the new pickup, the Musso. Just over 30 grand, excluding VAT, 181 PS, 420 Newton meters of torque, combined MPG of 29.5. But I really like the styling on this. I think it's a good looking pickup. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. But it's quite a handsome vehicle, I would say, and sitting on some nice rims. And this gent has just popped out, so I'm going to pop in. So let's check out the interior. I'll tell you what, that competes with a hell of a lot of pickups in this market. Very, very nice leather seats. Oh, they're squidgy. Nice thick leather steering wheel. Proper gear selector. Big infotainment screen. Volume knob, yes, result. Air conditioning knob, yes, result. I don't know if it's actually too nice for a pickup because it's going to get a bit mucky and stuff, but it is a very, very nice interior. That's really quite unexpected. You see the seat's been put back there by someone. It must be the size of some sort of throwback, I don't know, but it's still like a reasonable amount of legroom in there. And then quite a good sized bed. I like that. I do like a pickup. I suppose it's possible to be less excited, but I'm not sure how. I mean, it's just... Look, I'm just going to stand back here. I mean, that is a horrendous piece of design. I don't know what you think, but I just think it's hideous. What's the interior quality like on this? Because I was really surprised by that pickup. It's really good, to be fair. It's a really well put together interior and really nice quality materials. Scratchy plastics at the bottom, but the rest of it's really nice and tactile. Who'd have thunk it, eh? Who'd have thunk it? They've got it in a nice dark grey, and it doesn't look quite as sort of, oh, look at our car of the future in this dark grey than it does in like a brighter colour, I think. So I think certain colours make or break certain cars, and this looks really nice in the dark grey, and I don't think it did in the brighter colours. So let's have a look in here. So that's all very nice, isn't it? Independent armrest there for driver and passenger. Really nice chunky wheel. Oh no. It's got slidey things for volume controls. Just give us a wheel, for God's sake. And it's got that problematic infotainment system with the slidey things on. Car manufacturers must start putting physical dials back in just for the basic functions. It really makes such a difference. Check out the rear space. Look how much passenger space this thing's got. It's vast in there. It really is vast. The seats look a bit flat, but the passenger space is vast. And then if we have a quick look in the boot, again, it's massive. It's a really, really good shape as well for getting things in and out. Said the actress to the bishop. But yeah, I mean, it's a great size, but very, very usable as well, just because it's so easy to access. If you've got like a big buggy to put in there and a couple of suitcases, it's all very possible. Where a lot of cars have that narrower opening, which makes it very difficult to get large items in, and particularly to get large items in and out if there are already large items in there. So yeah, that's very nice. That's a good bit of design. Yeah, I'm just not in love with the exterior looks, but in this dark grey, I kind of am a little bit in love with it. So let me know what you think in the comments. That's it, why? Why did VW decide we need a small crossover cabriolet? Don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, that's nice, a little Cayman here. 52 grand, so that's obviously quite a fruity one. I love those wheels. Whoa. Other than that, Cayman GTS that is. That's very nice. 911 cabriolet there. Then it's obviously a fairly fruity 911 there, just 156 grand for this one. Obviously full race spec. I mean, if you want a track day car and you've got 156 grand knocking around, that's going to do the job, isn't it? It's a little Citroen AMI or AMI or whatever you want to call it. So this is the super sort of little city car, which I'm sure will end up being on kind of an Uber sort of model, whereby you literally use an app, take one of those for a drive, and they get charged by the minute or the mile or something. They're already out in France, and you can drive them at 16 years old. They're limited to 30 miles an hour, but for driving around a city, I mean, look at the size of it. It's absolutely tiny, and I think they're about 6 grand to buy. So as a city car, like a true city car, imagine driving around London, you know, where you barely get over 15 miles an hour, let alone need to consider anything over 30. That's a brilliant solution, and you know, you can park it anywhere. It's tiny, isn't it? Here's the Enyaq again, and the Enyaq does look good in a bright colour. That bright sparkly green that's in all their publicity shots and stuff is very, very good looking, I think. Very good looking indeed. Shame it's not open, because I would like to have a climb around inside that one. What's going on over here? I thought it was Katy Perry for a minute. Good lord. No, that was Phil Tufnell there. TV's Phil Tufnell. Cricket's Phil Tufnell. A110 Legende. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. There's HR Owen, who are dealers of incredibly expensive cars. Reassuringly expensive, some would say. Nice Ferrari California there. By the way, I really appreciate all those people that are buying me coffees. Seriously, it's really nice. But if you want to send me something else instead of £3 for a coffee, Ferrari California would be alright. There's Mike over there by that McLaren, that orange McLaren in the middle.
Try to engage your attention, ladies and gentlemen, when this car's going around. I mean, we can see, as David said, it's got lots of aero, so you can see there's lots of holes all over the car, front, on the sides. You've got those kick plates that come out the side, very much like a Formula 1 car. That Venturi tunnel at the rear.
Oh, look at this, what an utter tool I am. I've been walking around the other bit for quite a long time, and it completely escaped me that the rest of this was here. What a tool. Right, so we're in the second hall now, guys. It's got the Select electric vehicle zone over there. So Select are a big car leasing firm, and they're sponsoring this EV zone. So, you know, well done to them, because they've got their branding slapped all over. I tend not to go on their website because I tend to use the comparison sites in my videos. But, you know, check them out, I guess. Check everyone out. You're not necessarily always going to get the best deal on the comparison sites. I know from other areas where comparison sites are very popular that comparison sites charge a lot of money for the traffic that they drive. So I guess car leasing is no different, and I guess there are times when you can get a better deal going direct and not through the comparison site. So nice Taycan there. Very nice. Again, I have been in a Taycan and I really liked it, but it was dark blue and I just didn't feel it worked on the car. That silver really does. And that's the basic one, if there is such a thing as a basic electric Porsche. It's not the turbo as they call it, or the S. It's the EQA, which is a really nice car. It's the Mercedes sort of mid-size, I guess it's their XC40. That flat paint looks awesome, doesn't it? I love that. It probably looks a bit shiny on the video, but it's really quite flat. It's a real satin finish and it looks absolutely awesome, I think. I bet though, does it yeah, look, where I've just touched it, can you see my greasy fingerprints on it already? Sorry. I bet that's very difficult to keep clean. And you've got an ID3. I don't think they've got an Ioniq 5, which is a damn shame. I guess they're probably rare as hen's teeth at the moment. But what is this one? It's the iX3. That's a big car considering it's the 3. The iX3, that is a big car. Very big car. Everywhere I go, there are like a million children that seem to follow and pile into the cars, but yeah, it looks nice. Just BMW, fairly standard BMW interior. There's Jon Bentley there off the telly, off Gadget Show and Fifth Gear fame. I met Jon first thing this morning at a little press event, and then I had a coffee with him in the press room. What's an Ioniq 5? Yes. A result. I can actually show you inside an Ioniq 5. Right, so here it is. In black. And let's have a little look inside. See, we've got those funky door handles. I'm sure if you're interested in these cars, you've already seen a million of them online. So unfortunately my camera lens is nowhere near wide enough for this, but there we go. So very minimalist steering wheel. I think these are, yep, so these are proper little sort of up and down rockers rather than haptic slidey things, which is nice. It's got a volume knob, which we love, don't we? And it's just very nice. It's very minimal. If you look down here, you've got this huge space. QI charger under there, 2 cup holders, big void there, so you could get a decent sized bag in there. And then loads of room in the back. The seat's really pumped up high in this and fairly far forward. Yeah, really good visibility actually. Pillars at the back, the corners are not too fantastic. And then this is cool. So instead of a glove box, they have a drawer. I mean, how much sense does that make? A glove box that you can get absolutely bugger all in, or a little drawer that's actually really accessible and nice and easy to use. And look, some shortcut buttons for the things that you use all the time. How difficult is it, guys? Really. So room in the back, let's have a look. I mean, there's just acres of legroom. That seat was really quite far forward, but look at that. I mean, I could have driven in that position, just not massively comfortably, so I'd probably have the seat here, realistically. You've got that. I mean, you can stretch right out in this thing. Couple of USB sockets there. Vents in the back, which is really cool. Oh, pardon the pun. Really bright and airy in here as well. And then let's go and have a look at the boot space. It's not very deep, is it? Because obviously all the batteries have to go somewhere, and I guess there's, yeah, somewhere for your charging cables and stuff. So it's not massively deep, but oh my God, it's wide. So it's like me, wide but shallow, I guess. That's probably a good way to describe it, wide but shallow. But I mean, you can get a ton of stuff in there. Let's have a look at those lights. Sorry, mate. Let's have a look at those lights. Oh, they didn't flash. It's a little Renault Twizy there. They're funky little things, aren't they? Wouldn't want to be the rear passenger one in one particularly. And probably not ideal for long motorway journeys. But no, they're quite cool, aren't they? Definitely different. And you need it to be a nice day, let's face it. And there's another Tesla Model 3 there. In dark grey. I actually prefer that car in white. Nice wheels on that one though. Look at those. Big turbine style wheels. Very nice. Okay, so I actually just popped out of the other end of the hall. So back down here we've got like the classic cars and the owners clubs and what have you. There's another plane coming in there in the background. It's a very busy airport. It really shows you how many people have the money to fly private, which is I don't know, scary or good. The economy must be doing well if this number of people are able to fly private. Now that is awesome, isn't it? Camaro ZL1. Understated. That's what I like most about that car. Very understated. You fly well under the radar in that. Look at it. Look at the brake calipers on it and the discs. Woof. Some pretty cool things there. What's that? Oh, GTX 440 plus 6. Wow. There's some people up here with proper cameras. When you get your own crew following you around, I guess you've made it. The good thing about this video, guys, is you haven't had to stare at my fat, blotchy face. So think yourselves lucky, okay? You know, if I was successful and had my own film crew, you'd have had to look at me for the entire video, and nobody wants that. Hello guys, just a quick reminder to give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.
Oh, hi. Well, so the Car Crowd's a fairly new business, started in April really this year. It's the first crowdfunding investment business in the UK for classic cars. We create limited companies that have 1,000 shares in each one of the companies. That owns the car outright once all those 1,000 shares are sold, meaning that people can get ownership or part ownership of a really nice classic car for 1/1000th technically of the cost. So it's just a different way of investing money, different to ISAs or risky Bitcoin or, you know, sort of some of the bonded warehouse stuff with whiskey and wine. It's an alternative investment and a way that people can get access to this really, really fast appreciating asset class without having to buy, store and insure the whole car. Yeah, so we're trying to be different to most other investment businesses. You know, we're not fuddy-duddy, lots of paper forms and stuff. Everything's online, very quick digital applications. And also we're bringing, at the end of this year, our virtual reality showroom. So people will be able to swipe around, move the showroom around, and then interact and look at each one of the different cars that we've got available. Plus, once you've bought a share in one of those cars, it then actually appears in your virtual reality garage. So you can show your mates down the pub and look at your kind of car collection. Yeah, so not only have we got it in the virtual world, but then in the real world, all of the cars that we have will be stored up in Nottinghamshire. We've got a Roadhouse style concept that we're launching up there, where we'll have about 11 cars at a time stored in the unit that you can come up and look at. Any investor in those cars is invited up at the last Sunday of every month to do an open day. So any time of the day, drop in, see us, grab a slice of wood-fired pizza and a coffee, talk about the car, sit in your investment car, look at the other ones that we've got up there that are available for investment, and just generally build that community of investors and like-minded people coming together to buy these amazing cars.
And at the moment you're saying you concentrate on fairly safe investments, like this one for example.
Yeah, like the Sierra. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we are looking for fast appreciating vehicles. That's what we do. There's no guarantee, no recipe that you can just follow, but we do look for ones that have low mileage, low ownership, a cult status, some sort of iconic factor. Maybe, you know, obviously like with the Cosworths, the real kind of RS heritage. Those are the ones we're focusing on at the moment, you know, looking at 5 to 10% projected returns, hopefully, on each one of those. But then we'd like to get into the more, you know, both high-end stuff in terms of maybe some Enzos, or, you know, the dream would be a McLaren F1 or something. But also maybe some of the sort of more modern classic stuff like a Saxo VTR or something VTS. You know, you can pick them up for 2,000 or 3,000, but actually maybe double money. And actually we could move some of those through the platform as well as we get to scale. So we're at www.thecarcrowd.co.uk, or follow us on Instagram at thecarcrowduk and on Facebook at thecarcrowduk.
So what do you think, guys? That's by far the longest video I've ever made, and the one I've put the most time into. You know, I spent a day filming. I know, quite badly at times, sorry about that. Obviously some of the video work could have been better, so apologies for that, but it'll be better next time, hopefully, if you guys support me so that I can afford some new equipment to make better videos. So I know I always ask for it, but you saw my Readly ad earlier, and there's something in the description about that. Please go and take that free trial. Just you taking that free trial earns me a little bit of money, and you can cancel it. If you don't like it, you can cancel it after a couple of weeks. It won't cost you a penny, but please go and take that free trial, because it really supports me. It's probably the best way you could support me at the moment, is by doing that Readly trial. You've also got things like you can use my Amazon link, and you can go and buy me a coffee if you like. All that stuff helps a great deal, and like I say, if I am going to produce better videos, I need better equipment, and it's as simple as that. So I hope you liked it. Obviously it's a very long video, and I do ramble on a bit, I know that, but something very different for my channel. Usually it's this, and it's my head but in front of a screen. So I hope you found it interesting. I hope you stayed with it, and I hope you're still seeing this. But please, this is taking a huge amount of effort for me. Please tell a friend, please share it on your social media, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.